you got a cover for that, Jackie? Hey everyone. Hello. We're back. Welcome to class 3 of the Flip Your Perspective program. For this class, we will need a block and we're going to be working on forearms today. Okay, so you guys did a really great class with Jackie on headstands, and now we're going to be working on forearms. And really, forearm stand is basically a headstand with your head off of the floor. Okay, so it takes a lot of shoulder girdle strength, and that's why in the first lecture we showed you lots of exercises to kind of build the shoulder girdle. Remember, that's that serratus anterior muscle that wraps around the rib. So we're going to be using that anatomical alignment method to get up into our forearm stand, okay? So the first thing I want to do today is review those 6 different movements of the scapula. So you are going to first go ahead and sit on your heels. And I'm going to show you what you're going to do first. So just watch me and then we'll kind of demonstrate, and you can do it with Jackie. So sitting on your heels, I want you to sit up nice and tall, and I want you to find that neutral spine. So we're going to hug those ribs in, pull that navel up and in, right? So you should feel that activation. Hopefully those exercises you've been doing to help strengthen, you're feeling that right here, okay? So from here, all I want you to do is inhale. We're going to inhale the arms up first, right? And I want you to see if you can just find that elevation and depression of the scapula. So we're just going to do a little bit of lift and lowering. And when you do this, guys, I really want you to try to keep those ribs hugged in. You want to keep that engagement of the core here, okay? So Jackie's showing you, you should feel this lift and then depression. Elevation, depression. Make sure you're wrapping, you're firming. So there's an external rotation here. Hug in, nice. Down, lift, up, and down. Good. So again, just getting that feeling. Keep that core engaged for 4. Nice. Lift. 3. Good. Inhale. Exhale. 2. And 1. Nice. Go ahead and release. All right. So the next one, we're going to take our arms out laterally and then find our cactus. Okay. So we're going to try to find that protraction and retraction of the scapulas that we did at the beginning or the first lecture class. So here I want you to squeeze the shoulder blades together, but then make sure you don't arch the back here. Don't get that banana back, guys. I want you to hug those ribs in. Keep that core locked into place, right? So squeeze the scapulas, and then we're going to find that protraction. We're going to hug the elbows in and try to scoop the belly up and in. Good. Inhale, open. Don't let the back arch. Keep neutral. Good. Exhale, hug. Nice. Let's do a couple more. Inhale. She's squeezing, squeezing. Good. Exhale. She's separating. Nice. Good. Couple more. Inhale. Open. Don't let the belly go, guys. Hug it in. Exhale. Firm that core. Good. 2 more. Inhale. Remember, we're just finding the movements of the scapulas here. Exhale. Nice. 1 more. Inhale. Good. And then exhale, squeeze. Nice. All right, so the next one I'm going to show you first, and then we'll let Jackie do it. It's a little bit more challenging. You're going to bring your elbows together, and I want you to, again, squeeze and knit those ribs in, okay? So basically, this is a variation of your forearm here. We're going to find that upward and downward movement of the scapula. So go ahead here, Jackie, you take your arms. Good. From here, we're going to lift the elbows, lift the scapulas. Exhale, draw the scapulas down the back. Good. Inhale. You may notice your elbows don't lift as high as mine. That's okay. Exhale down. That just means we may not have a lot of flexibility in the shoulders. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Feel the scapulas draw down the back. Inhale. Good. Exhale, draw down. So here's that upward lifting of the scapulas. And then that downward drawing of the scapula is down. Good, let's do 2 more. Inhale. Good, and exhale. Last one, good. Inhale. Draw it downward, exhale. Good. All right, you can go ahead and turn forward, Jackie.
And I just wanted to show my elbows don't touch. I'm aiming to get that, so there's some exercises that I'll be working on. So if you're not completely where the elbows are touching, that's okay.
Yeah.
You can still do the posture and the positions, but just know that that's what we're aiming for eventually to get those elbows.
Yeah, and I'll show you in a minute some stretching exercises you can do to help you get to that point, okay? So now we're gonna add a little bit more of a challenge. We're gonna take the block between the hands. And again, you're gonna try to squeeze the elbows together, okay?
And make sure your wrist is neutral, right? You don't want to
Yeah.
grab the block like this. You want a neutral wrist. Think of
Press.
prayer and forearm.
So you're pressing into the block, just like if you were in forearm and you took the peace hand variation, which I'm going to talk about, you'd be pressing into those hands, all right? So you have to have that awareness of the pressing. So bring those elbows together, good. And then find the core first. So knit the ribs in, there's a slight little tuck, find that neutral spine. Here we go, we're gonna lift and lower. So upward of the scapula, good, downward of the scapula. Good, inhale, don't let the back arch, don't use banana back. Exhale down, good. Keep the core engaged, inhale. Exhale. Good, let's take 3 more, inhale. Exhale. You should start to feel that strength in that shoulder girdle. Inhale, there's that lifting upward and then downward of the scapula. Let's do 1 more. Inhale, lift the shoulder blades. Exhale, draw the shoulder blades back. Nice, go ahead and release. Did you guys feel some engagement in the pecs?
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and stretch this out. So we're gonna take Gomukhasana, but we're gonna first come into a tricep stretch, okay? So bring this right arm behind you, left hand on top of that elbow, and then press down as you lift the back of the head into the arm. Now I want you to bring awareness to the core even here, okay? So don't do this where your back is arching, hug and pull up. Good, see how she has that nice neutral spine? Remember, that's what we're trying to achieve when we go upside down. It's a lot harder to find it upside down, but you'll be able to do it. I have no doubt. You guys are going to be rock stars. Now we're going to take the Gomukhasana stretch. So left arm wraps into a reverse prayer, and you try to bind. If you cannot bind, feel free to take a strap. You can even grab on if you have a shirt to your shirt, or maybe even get a towel here. Okay. So Jackie's just grabbing onto the back of her sports bra. You can see it doesn't have to touch, because I can tell you, I can touch on one side and grab my hands. I cannot grab on the other side. So that usually tells me that one of my shoulders is being compensated, right? Good. So hug in, hug the ribs in. Inhale. Exhale. So you're going to notice when you guys start working through these inversions that a lot of muscles you didn't know you had are going to be worked, and they're going to be sore. So not only adding these strengthening exercises, but also adding these stretches into your practice is going to help you feel better throughout the process. Let's take 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale, hug in. Good, 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, hug. Good, now slowly release this, because you don't want to come out of this fast. I notice that my arms do not want to release quite as well as I would like them to, so we just kind of shimmy out of it, okay? Let's go ahead and take it to the other side. So left arm comes behind. We're going to take that tricep stretch first, because we did use the triceps when we were working through those. Let's hug the ribs in. Don't forget, neutral spine. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Nice. Now we're going to keep this left arm here. Take that reverse prayer. Really wrap it around. Good, and you will notice that this side, for me, is definitely tighter. Don't try to judge or analyze it, guys, just breathe through it. We want to knit the ribs in. Bring the awareness to the core. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale. Hug the ribs in. Good. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Last one. Exhale. Beautiful. Slowly come out of that. Just roll your shoulders back. Yes, roll them back. Nice. All right, so now that we've brought awareness into the scapulas, we've done a little bit of engaging, a little bit of stretching. Let's kind of work through a short little flow here, just to bring more awareness into everything that we need to engage. So let's go ahead and start in child's pose. We're gonna have those big toes touch, and we're gonna press our hips towards the heels. Arms extend out, fingertips spread nice and wide, forehead onto the mat. And just start some breathing here. No, we haven't talked too much about the breath, but it's so important when we're inverting. I know when I started inverting, I would hold my breath and I would come out of it really dizzy and be like, whoa, why is that? Oh, I forgot I wasn't breathing. Right? So we want to really find that deep Ujjayi breath here from the start, so we kind of can bring awareness to that throughout this flow. And one more breath. And let's go ahead and shift into tabletop. So I want us to take some cow-cats, which again, there's that retraction and protraction of the scapulas right here. But let's firm into those arms. So there's that deep wrapping here. Find neutral spine. You're spiraling the biceps forward. Your triceps are underneath. We're going to inhale, drop the belly, arch the back, squeeze the scapulas. Exhale, round the spine, chin comes into the chest. You can really find that exaggerated protraction here. Let's do a couple more. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Nice. Couple more. Inhale. Shoulders down away from the ears. Squeeze. Exhale. Separate. Let's take one more here, guys. Inhale. And exhale, scoop, scoop, scoop that belly up, hug those ribs in. Nice, let's find neutral spine, good. All right, so we're gonna work into the arms a little bit more. Make sure those shoulders are directly over the wrists. We're gonna take a deep breath in. Exhale, I'm gonna bend the elbows and tap the mat. All right, inhale, lift. Exhale, bend and tap. Keep that neck nice and long here, guys. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend and tap. Good. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Good. And then let's go ahead and find tabletop. We're going to come onto the forearms and we're going to find our forearm plank. Okay, so whatever that looks like for you, go ahead and find it. I want that exaggerated protraction, so scoop that belly up and in. Your gaze is forward, not down. Keep that neck long. Squeeze through the inner thighs. Lift up through those quads. I want her to find a more exaggerated, yes, there we go. Nice, hold it there. Good, breathe. So remember, we're just building strength. Anytime we're building strength, we're going to be able to kick up or lift up or float up a little bit easier here because we've already bringing awareness to the muscles we need to have when we invert. Good. Let's hold it here for 2 more breaths. You can do it, guys. I know it's hard, but you're putting in the work. You're doing fantastic. Last one. Good, and then come down and take a break, Jackie. Jackie's gonna take a break. So I'm gonna show you the next one. Then you're gonna join in with Jackie because you guys are gonna need a break in between, okay? So the next one, I'm gonna come into my forearm plank. So in our inversion, there's a lot of shifting, right? There's a lot of shifting, there's stacking, and I know Jackie talked about this in your headstand class, but I want you to reiterate that. So there's a shift. You got to get the shoulders over the wrists in handstand or shoulders over the elbows in our forearm stance. So we're going to work that shifting. But when we shift, guys, you don't want to collapse. Okay, that's what we're trying to prevent here. So as I shift, I'm still keeping that protraction, and then I shift back, okay? And if you find that's really challenging and you are collapsing, then you probably need to work into that before you start coming up into a lift or a kick, okay? So I'll show you first. You're gonna come into forearm. You're gonna find that exaggerated protraction. Now I'm gonna shift forward, but I'm not gonna buckle here, okay? You're gonna stay protracted and then shift back. So it's a shift forward and then a shift back. And a shift forward and a shift back, okay? So here you go, up you go. You're gonna do this with Jackie. Come forward. Yeah, come forward. Okay. All right, so she's gonna find that exaggerated protraction. Good, she's gonna pull up through those quads, pull up through that core. She's gonna shift forward and then shift back. Nice, shift forward. Notice how this protraction is not releasing. It's not, she's not coming out of that. She's still almost like she's lifting more when she shifts forward. And that's what we need when we start shifting into our forearm stance. So shift forward, shift back. Let's take it 4. You guys are doing great. 3, scoop the belly. Good. 2, energetically squeeze inner thighs. 1, and take a break. Good. Nice. How'd that feel? Nice. All right, so the next one we're gonna do, and we did this in our first class, so we're just gonna find those retraction and protraction lifts, okay? So you're gonna come onto the forearms once again. Good, we're gonna drop, retract, protract, scoop the belly, drop and scoop, all right? All right, so here we go. She's gonna retract, shoulder blades towards the ears, shoulder blades away, or shoulders away from the ears. Let's go down and up. Let's take it 8, 7, good, 6, 5, 4, 3, don't forget to breathe, good, 2, nice, and 1. Whoo, take a break, awesome. All right, so the next and last one we're going to do is we're going to come back into that forearm plank and we're going to tiptoe up into our dolphin, okay? So it's just going to look like this. Find your forearm plank, try to press and scoop and round, okay? Oh, I'm sorry, forearm plank. I was going first into dolphin. So find your forearm plank, good. And then we're just gonna tiptoe up, but notice when I do that, nothing starts to fall, and that's what you need to prevent here. So we're gonna lift, 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 back down, 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 good. Lift, 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 really press into the forearm, scoop the belly. The more you scoop, the more lightness you're gonna feel here, okay? These are the most challenging.
And so, like Kelly said, if you get to a point where you're sinking and you're not able to protract the scapulas and stack, you're gonna just stay there and breathe and do some of the other exercises you can. As soon as you start compromising the pose, that's your kind of indicator that you gotta back up.
Yeah.
So go back a little bit, start to strengthen and work towards that.
Absolutely. Okay. All right, so let's try these, see how you do. Go ahead and turn to the side, grab them this one. She's gonna start in forearm plank. Good, she's gonna find that protraction and then she's gonna tiptoe up into her dolphin. Good, and notice how her shoulders, that whole shoulder girdle, that serratus anterior muscle stays in place. She's not letting those shoulders come up towards the ears and then she walks back. Good, beautiful, walk up. Nice, and back. Ooh, yes, how's that feel? Walk up. All right. And walk back. Nice, walk up Good, and walk back. Let's do 2 more. You can do it, guys. Walk up and walk back. Don't forget to scoop that belly right here. Walk up, scoop, 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 and walk back. Beautiful, take a break. Woo. So let's say you guys did the foundation and the first class, and now you're like, I don't know if I want to do headstand, I want to work into my forearm. So I guess you could really pick and choose, right? These are some drills you're going to want to do before you start kicking up. So I would maybe do these for a couple days before you maybe see if you can kick up, build more strength, right? All right, so I want to talk to you next about the 3 different grips that we have in our forearm stand. So the easiest variation, and I say this, but honestly, I have had students who say like the hardest one is easier for them. So you really kind of have to play around with all 3 grips to see which fits best for your body. But anatomically, the easiest one is where we clasp our hands and then we find this V, right? And I always judge my arms by crossing, right? And then from here, I'm going to land. So again, it's a cross, just kind of see the distance you need, and then I land, okay? If I'm doing this one, okay, I really want to press into the forearms, and you don't want those knuckles to lift. You want to really press, okay? Then you have the prayer hands. So you bring the hands together, again, just kind of judge here, and then you press the palms together. But again, you don't want this shifting, lifting, you want to really press, okay? That's
Through your pinkies.
Yes, through your
Pinkies and
pinkies.
elbows.
The hardest one, because of the rotation of the shoulders, is palms down, okay? But some people say this one is easier because they have more stability. I don't personally like this one as much because again, it gets into my wrists a little more, shoulders, but for like hollow back and things like that, sometimes you need that type of grip, okay? So you can maybe work through all of those grips and see which one feels most comfortable. I would maybe start here because I feel like you feel the most strength in this one. You feel the strongest in this, okay? So the first one we're going to do is just find that shifting, okay? So I'm gonna let Jackie show you this, and then you'll get into it next.
I'm just gonna piggyback. I'm one of those people that thinks this is the easiest way. So I'll take my forearm this way, but you can take it however is comfortable for you guys.
Good. So she's going to start in just her regular dolphin, okay? Usually dolphin, your shoulders are away, not stacked over the elbows, but we're gonna get that shifting because that's what we want. We want that stacking of the shoulder directly over the elbow. So let's do that again. She goes back, you guys can see this. It's not stacked, she shifts forward, she scoops, now it's stacked. So this is where you wanna start in your forearm stand before you do any type of kicking or lifting, all right? So go ahead and come down and let's start joining her. No, you're gonna do them with me now, Jack. Okay. All right, so here we go. You're in your dolphin and we now shift. Scoop the belly back. Good, shift, scoop the belly back. Now notice if your shoulders collapse here. If they do, then you've got to build strength in this first before you move on to the next part. Good, let's take 4 more. Shift, 4, beautiful, shift, the stacking, good, and 2, get that stack, last one, hold it there, press, 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 and then release it down, nice. Whew. Okay. So I really want to reiterate the importance of stacking those shoulders over the elbows before you start to kick up. Anytime you start to kick up, you got to get the stacking first. That's why we need to build that foundation, that strength in that shoulder girdle, okay? So the next one we're going to do is we're going to get a little bit of a stretch here, okay? So you're going to take your block in front of you. You're going to take basically your triceps onto the block, and we're taking puppy pose variation with the triceps or the elbows at least. And you're going to really melt your heart, and I want you to press your elbows into that block. You guys should feel that stretch underneath the armpits, yes? After all that stuff, all the shifting and strengthening we did. Good, let's take one more breath. Nice. Go ahead and slowly come out of it. All right, so we're ready for the next shifting. We got a little bit of a stretch. So Jackie's gonna come back into, and just watch this first one, guys. Back into her dolphin. Good. She's going to lift a leg. Doesn't matter which leg, because we're gonna do the opposite side as well. Good. Now she's gonna do the same thing. The leg's gonna stay up, but she's now gonna shift. Good, and back. And we're doing this because guess what? When we start to shift and lift, you have to have a leg up, okay? So here's where you can kind of see, go ahead and come down because they're gonna join us in a minute. We're gonna switch sides after a moment. You can see which leg feels more natural lifted. Because remember, you're gonna be shifting and floating up with the other leg, all right? So let's go back, do the same leg.
Same leg?
Yep, and you guys can do whatever leg you want to start with, because we'll do the other side. All right, here we go. I want you to shift, shoulders over elbows. Good. Shift, keep that protraction. Shift, scoop that belly. Shift, energetically squeeze inner thighs. See how many things we have to think about? Let's do 2 more, and then we'll switch legs. 2. Nice. And 1. Good. I feel like I'm swaying and dancing with you guys. All right, let's go ahead and go on to the other leg. You got this, Jackie?
Yeah.
All right. Inhale, lift, so squeeze inner thighs, good, and then go back, good, so shift, nice, and back, good, shift, don't collapse, really find the protraction, separation right there, scoop the belly, scoop, scoop, scoop up, hollow out that belly, good, let's take 2, and 1, nice, nice job, all right, how do we feel, good, okay. So once you start maybe working into those, we're now going to take the wall, okay? But we are not kicking up to the wall. I am not a fan of kicking up to the wall because it's teaching you to over kick, right? So when I come off of the wall, I am going to, remember, repetition is key. If you are in your mind kicking over, you're gonna do the over kick when you come off your mat. So we're going to show you some things to really prevent you from falling and kicking over, okay? So I'm going to show you first, so you have to watch, and then Jackie will do it, and we'll do it with Jackie. So you're going to come up against the wall, right? You can find your grip. You can place your hands and then find it. Good, you're going to find dolphin here first, and you may need to adjust, you know, what feels right for you, okay? I'm going to start to walk my legs up the wall and find an L shape. If you cannot hold this position right here, this is where you need to stop. If you're collapsing into the shoulder girdle, you need to stop, okay?
And go back to those exercises, the dolphin and the shift
Absolutely.
forward. Keep doing that so you can build the strength.
I'm going to move my mat here,
Yeah.
just to have a little bit of a cushion. All right, so I'm going to show you what you're going to do next, and then you guys are going to do it with Jackie, okay? So, again, I'm going to find my space. Come forward. A little more. Walk the legs up. Good, you're going to lift one leg, and then you're going to bend. We're finding staggered, so notice my shoulders are over, and then maybe I start to lift the toe off. Squeeze inner thighs, lift the toes, squeeze, 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 and then maybe you start to bend the other leg and find your stagger. But first, just try lifting the toe off in a straight leg. This left leg is staggered, or whichever leg you choose, okay? Whew, here we go.
Show it from the side.
Well, we'll do it off the mat too, remember?
All right, so just like we did in the handstand, right? Elbow distance, set up your hands. Okay. And then you want your heels on the wall, right?
Yep. Good. Nice. So she's going to lift. She's going to squeeze first. She's going to bend this one because she's doing staggered leg. Good. Maybe she takes the toe off. Maybe you stagger it. But just play with the toe first. Good. Yeah. Nice. You probably could have come back a little bit. Oh, look at her. She's getting fancy. You guys don't have to do that. All right. So that's what you can do if you're ready to use the wall. Please don't kick. You guys notice we're just wanting you to shift. I want you to float up into your hands or your forearm stand. I don't want you to kick. I want to prevent you from kicking so you prevent yourself from falling over. okay? So once you feel pretty comfortable with that, we're gonna come back to our mat. And Jackie, go ahead and move your mat, and we'll just kind of use one so we can turn to the side here now. Perfect. All right, so I'm gonna show you what you're going to try to do here. If you start to feel comfortable away from the wall, again, you're not going to do all of these in one session. You're going to work towards the strengthening. Once you feel comfortable and locked in that shoulder girdle and strong, you're going to come and try those up the wall, and you're going to work that for maybe even weeks, guys. I mean weeks.
And that's what I was gonna say, that's the beauty of it, like the awesomeness of this program is that you have it forever.
Yeah.
Because your handstand and your inversion practice progresses, and as you progress, now you have another toolbox, you have another thing you can practice.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. So once you feel comfortable on the wall, maybe you try to come off of the wall. And we're gonna use a block here. I'll show you with the block and without the block. But what this block is going to do, it's going to prevent you from kicking over or getting into that banana back because you have to squeeze in tight, okay? So I'm going to place this block right here into the thigh, okay?
Into that crease point.
Yep. Good.
You're hugging your knee.
I'm going to lift my left leg. I'm squeezing that block, right? I'm back here. I'm going to shift, and then maybe start to bring that knee in and then squeeze inner thigh. So if I'm squeezing this, there's no way I can fall because I'm squeezing.
As you squeeze this knee in, it neutralizes your pelvic floor.
Good. And then back down. Okay? So that's a little challenging, but I'm telling you, it's going to get you to hug in and prevent you from splaying out and possibly coming over into a back. All right, so next, you do a couple of those, right? Maybe now you're ready. We're still finding staggered legs, or I want to show you L shape, because L shape is what I always learn first to find balance, and then I can straighten my legs. So I'm going to find where I need to place my arms. I'm going to come up. Now notice I need to shift a little bit, right? I'm going to find that first. I may even walk back and then shift to lift. Good. And then I'm going to find my L shape here, squeezing inner thighs. Good. And then just hold the L shape. If you start to feel balance, then that's where you would start to come up and bring the legs together.
And so notice, if you're dumping, this is where the video comes out, you're going to back out of this pose and you're not ready. Go back to firming the core. Notice how straight she is. There's no arch here.
Good. Whew. All right. So let's review.
And forearm, I feel, is more of a stronger pose than handstand because you're only using half of your arm to support you, right? Handstand, full arm, forearm, just the larger part of the arm, the biceps and the triceps. So upper body strength is important.
So just to review, all right, you're going to work those foundational poses, right? Strengthening. The drops, the planks, the shifting, get that shifting, come onto the wall, find the staggered leg first. I'm telling you guys, don't try to lift up into straight leg. You will not be able to find balance, okay? So you see, I've seen a lot of people, they just go into handstand, they try to stand up and they kick legs straight up. There's too much momentum there, you're gonna fall every time. Find balance first, either in that L shape or the stagger. Once you feel strong there, then you start to squeeze the inner thighs and lift up into straight leg, okay?
It's the last, just like in headstand, we talk about the last thing you do in a headstand is lift your legs up.
I did a staggered leg and forearm for probably a year before I actually started straightening my legs, okay? So you guys, I know if you put in the work, you can do it. Just believe in yourself. You've already made it this far, so we know you're putting in the work. Keep going and you're gonna see results. All right, so next we're gonna be doing handstands if you're ready. Remember, take your time and we'll see you guys in the next class.
Have fun practicing.
Bye.